Purdue has 4 straight wins against Minnesota, and in those 4 wins, they've held the Gophers to 35% less. One more time. Purdue 4 straight wins against Minnesota, and in those 4 games, the Golden Gophers have shot better than 35% just once. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, glad to be with you here on the College Basketball Preview Show, brought to you by the California Almond Board. As we bring in our college basketball columnist, Gary Parrish, to break this down. And Gary, let's start with Purdue here, because of course it's fluid and everything like that. It's all going to change in the next 3 weeks. But do you think Purdue, with the wins at Ohio State, the wins at Michigan State, beating Illinois at home, has the inside track on the #1 seed?
Yes, and I wrote about it Friday before this weekend, went down. When you looked at Villanova's upcoming schedule, or the way Villanova has to close, compared it to Purdue's schedule, and with the way Purdue's playing, I wrote on Friday that I thought those two things would contribute to Purdue earning a #1 seed. Then, of course, Purdue goes out, handles itself against Illinois, and Villanova takes a loss at Pitt. Purdue sitting here right now, wins over Tennessee, Wake Forest, West Virginia, 2 wins over Illinois, win over Wisconsin, win over Michigan State, win over Ohio State. The only really bad loss at this, is the Northwestern loss, of course. But even at the time, they didn't look terrible because Northwestern was playing pretty well back then. And then here's the key. Really, at Minnesota, that's the toughest road game left. You got Michigan State at home, Indiana at home. The Indiana one's a guarantee win. At Penn State is a guarantee win. They're not going to falter. I don't think so. Whereas, Villanova still got the game, at Syracuse. Villanova still has the Big East tournament. I would guess right now, I would bet right now, Purdue is the 4th #1 seed.
Gary, how big was it for them to get a win, and a big win against a good Big Ten opponent, when JaJuan Johnson really struggled, 1 of 10 from the floor against Illinois?
Well, it just shows them that they can do it, and that's been something that's been unclear going through the season. I mean, we talk all the time about, does Hummel have to do this? We always tend to come back, and most people do, to, JaJuan Johnson has to play. And for him to struggle in that game, and then for them to still, get out of there with a double-digit victory, it at least shows them that, look, we can do this a lot of different ways. We're obviously great when he's great, but even when he's not, we can still beat a quality NCAA tournament caliber opponent. I think it's good from a mental aspect, not only for Matt Painter, but for that team to know that they can win a lot of different ways. It's something that Kentucky is learning. They can beat you in the 80s, they can beat you in the 50s, they can beat you with Wall dominating you, they can beat you with Cousins dominating you, they can beat you with Patterson hitting corner threes, or DeAndre Liggins making a shot down in the final 3 minutes. Purdue, I think, is learning that as well. They can beat you a lot of different ways.
And getting that 1 seed, very important. 5 of the last 6 national champions have been a 1 seed. Gary, meanwhile, for Minnesota, they got hammered in West Lafayette, lost by 19 back on January 5th. They're 500 in Big Ten play, but they have wins over Butler. They have a win over Wisconsin. They have a win on Ohio State. If they can get this game, are they back in the discussion?
I don't know. I mean, they've got some work to do. I mean, the RPI is still in the 70s, and so even a win in this game is going to put them in a tough spot. Then they still got to go to Illinois. The last 2, I mean, at Michigan is still, there's no gimme there. I mean, they might can win it, but it's certainly not guaranteed. At home against Iowa, you probably knock that one out. They still got work to do. I mean, they're going to be one of those teams that, even if they get this win, they're going to go into the Big Ten tournament very clearly needing to, win some games there to even get in consideration. The problem is that, they didn't get a whole lot done in the non-league part of the schedule, and particularly, when they're going through that little 3-game stretch where they lose to Portland on a neutral, Texas A&M on a neutral, and then at Miami. I mean, that was a tough stretch, and because you knew going into a really competitive Big Ten, though Minnesota was good last year, preseason top 25 this year, with some of the off-the-court problems that caused suspensions, they weren't going to be a team that was going to be able to overwhelm anybody from a talent perspective. In other words, they were going to take some losses. They have, and I'm just afraid they didn't get enough done in the non-league to overcome that.
All right, very important game for the Gophers to get Williams Arena. We'll see if they do this coming week. Gary Parrish, thank you very much, sir. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
Thanks, guys.
All right, folks, for more on this game, keep it right here with CBSSports.com. And don't forget the College Basketball Preview Show, brought to you by the California Almond Board. Become a pro snacker this season with a handful of California almonds. For Gary Parrish, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.